recently did an order with Vograce, and I've already ordered with them a few times, but this is the first time I'm actually doing a review on them. The first thing I do want to say though is when I ordered, which was July 21st, it got shipped on the 18th of August, which is later than that was predicted, but considering it's con season, it was kind of expected. They get very busy once they get very busy, you can expect some delays. I'm happy though that when I got the product yesterday on the 23rd, there you go, freeze there. On the 23rd, I was worried that the quality would take a hit because, again, they were very busy, and normally when a manufacturer gets busy, have to take into consideration that if they try to rush your order, it's going to be noticeable. But this time it wasn't, so I'm actually quite pleasantly surprised. I did do a tiny unboxing video, which you can see there. They completely taped up the box. Wait, give me a second. I'm actually gonna have to blur that out later. Um, I was surprised by the amount of protection that was in the box. Pleasantly surprised. I mean, not in a bad way. I did have to take out first the box. I had some trouble with it because it was very tightly packed, but not in a bad way. Because again, when I saw this, I was like, oh my god, what if something broke? And then when I was actually checking the stuff, everything was great. Everything was perfect. Would recommend. The temporary tattoos, I'm actually happy with how they turned out, but I do have to say there's some pixelation, but that might simply just be because of how I took a 2-inch canvas and tried to make multiple in them. There you can really clearly see the pixelation. So it's also a new service, so it might just be that they haven't configured it correctly yet. I hope that's the case. I'm still going to try them out in the future, like a proper one image on the whole canvas instead of multiple like I did now. So I'm not saying it's their fault. Might have just been me being a doofus. Like, oh, and I'm really happy with how they turned out because I did start a Kickstarter campaign for that actual same hoodie design, but because of how many fabrics it uses, it has a very high minimum order quantity and cost. So since it's not going well, I still wanted to have the design for myself. So I made a keychain. The holographic was so pretty. I loved it. I do recommend that you use scissors when you're opening these type of packages because it is really, really well stuck. Like, not really sure which one is the right one there. And at least that way you know that no one can meddle with your shipment without you knowing about it. So I did reorder some of those pins because I was running out of non-binary and the asexual ones. I have a day and night version for both of those. So I ordered 5 of each of those, so in total 20 of those brush pins, which if I don't show them again because they're already a previous thing. I did order some of the new weapon designs just to try. I'm actually surprised that they managed to put 2 backings on that one because it's very thin. Basically, don't make pins that are so thin. It's not really recommended. Then if you the shield one, for example, I like how it looked, especially with the epoxy. The epoxy doesn't have anything that you have to peel. For example, on the other ones, the flat ones without the epoxy, you do have to peel the protective layer on both sides. Since they're keychains. I'm most happy with how that one turned out. Especially the epoxy on that type of design actually just makes it look more 3D than the drawing itself can make it look, which I appreciate. And then the cards, I think that they outsourced them, and the quality is pretty good. I actually use them also as the backing of my pins, as well as just cards to give out. That's got my information. Really happy with how those turned out as well. Still kind of surprised. And the next one is pictures. I do use the service that Vograce has to. You basically take a picture, 5 pictures of each product for like 50 cents. And considering my actual camera is leaves a lot to be desired, this is actually ideal if I want to post product then on Etsy because I don't have the equipment at the moment to take decent quality pictures. As you can see, very pretty, very bright. You can even see that the holographic is on the keychains. So That's already great. Next would be the, let me get this open while that goes. There we go. And that would be taking this. Yeah. Before I do continue though, is when you make an order on Vograce, you will get an email, and in that email you will see most of the time a name at vograce.com. I have Stacey. She is great to work with. Completely and utterly recommend her. As in, had it not been for Stacey, I probably would have stopped using Vograce. Not because they weren't good, because they are good, and I do like using them. But having a good representative makes a very big difference. Because one of the first orders I did, they didn't pack all of my pins. I was missing some, and the process to just get the pins I was missing was so great that I was actually thinking of using someone else, because when you're missing pins, you're like, this is not a great look. But not only then, in the next order did they actually send what I was missing, they sent some extra stuff as well, which made a difference in for what happened. So again, 10 out of 10 would recommend. She's also very quick with her answers. I never have to wait more than 24 hours before I get an answer. So no complaints there. If you have the option, work with her. So this is a site. For example, if I would want to order something, they're on vograce.com. You can see here. One of the next orders I'm going to do, for example, is a custom keychain, because I do have some cherry designs for Pokemon that I want to get made. And then my favorite is normally adding holographic. You can see down here the minimum order quantity is actually very low. It is not even per item. If it says per design, then you need 3 of the same design. But here, since it doesn't say, it just means you need 3 Keychains of the same size, same finish. That's it. Like, you can have 3 different designs as long as they're the same size and the same this thing here. They can even be different accessories, but that you would need to actually specify in your file name. For example, if you had 3 designs, you would have to say 1 underscore, for example, the name of your design, underscore, and then the number of your accessory. The first one is basically you want 1 of the design with accessory, for example, 34. So, pretty easy to do. You can already see how much it costs per unit. For example, double-sided, same design. This it will be cherry design. I would want double-sided Sakura. And I normally tend to go between 2 and 3 inches. You just upload this, add the cart. You can also add the files later, so you can pay for it, for example, now, and then within a month, I think it was, you send the files over. Which is great for when there's like a sale and you don't have everything ready already. You can see also here the amount that you can then get a discount. That's why I normally try to do a big order in one go and also wait for the sales if possible. Normally here you can also see some of their tips and tricks that they say at the bottom, or even some of the examples of what they do or how they are built. Here's what I mean about the file name, 3 pieces, and then the accessory number. Sometimes it does help to have the actual description of what the image is if there's like a lot of file works. It just makes it easier. And then once you do the order, you just place it, you pay for it, yada yada. And then, for example, I'm gonna have to blur this out. You can go to preview proof. And then you will get, for example, something like this. It takes a bit to load. And they will send you a, I'm not sure if the representative does this or if someone else. Yeah, it does take a bit to load. It is useful to keep this, and it's why I'm actually quite happy that it's there. You can check what the cut line is like, where the pin backings will go, what accessory you asked for. I didn't even have to actually say where I wanted some of the stuff. They just put on what is actually the best place in their experience, and because they do this a lot, they most of the time do know what is best. So yeah, that was the order with Vograce. Again, 10 out of 10. Would recommend.